One. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Game Brigade StarCraft replay. This is Ashwolf and I am joined by Ender. How are you doing today, Ender?
Pretty well, just enjoying the first few casts.
So today we have a special ladder game between aTnDarkForce and Fantom, and this is going to be a Zerg vs Zerg mirror match on Lost Temple. Now, one thing to note about Lost Temple, it has this very short rush distance across the air, and you can actually see that their overlords are doing a little pass by right now by each other. So they're going to know right away that each player is at each expansion, or at each
one of
the
the ground distance between these two bases is pretty long, gives you a nice natural. Like you said, the air distance is really small, which also means that your overlord's going to get sight of their base a lot sooner, so you're going to have perfect information for the first few minutes of the game.
Now, from what I've been told, Zerg vs Zerg is usually has kind of generated into a Zerglings and Banelings sort of gameplay. Would you expect that kind of thing from these kind of players, or how would you expect this game to go from a Zerg player yourself?
A lot of the games I've seen have gone that way on cast, but I don't really like the Zergling Baneling play, so I tried to get roaches very, very fast and make sure that I don't get lair tacked out.
You notice that both players have done a 15 hatch at the exact same time, basically. They both expand at the same time. Neither player looks like they have their spawning pool either, so they're going for obviously a very macro-heavy build here. So maybe that Baneling bust wouldn't be actually, a common thing here.
Yeah, and especially on these two spawn positions, the ground distance is long, and since you have overseers over each other's space, if one is going Banelings, you're probably going to know it, because you're not going to go an early hatchery with, if you go Banelings, you're going to go probably like a 13 gas, 12 spawning pool.
So it looks like they both have both spawning pools down, again, almost the exact same time. It looks like this is, in the term of a mirror match, basically, the epitome of what a mirror match would be, right? Both players are doing the exact same build order. Everything is popping out basically around the same time. The spawning pool is about at 90% on both players, so this is going to be fairly interesting to see if there's going to be any sort of deviation in the build order.
Yeah, and both expos are just going up now. Both are getting queens. And here you see the first deviation. One player's getting a Roach Warren, and the other one's getting meta boost with Lings.
Oh, yep, you can see that very clearly. So he's going to get that meta boost. What do you think about the Roach Warren in a Zerg vs Zerg mirror match?
Roach Warren, I haven't played a ton of ZvZ because I've been playing a lot of 2v2 since the game came out, rather than ladders like I did in the beta. I've liked Roach Warren a lot. The thing you really have to be careful for is make sure that you don't get caught off guard by Mutalisks.
So it looks like we got our first action already going down. We got 6 Zerglings coming down. They're already going to be moving down on this expo, but there's really nothing there for the Zergling to do. So he's going to try to go up the ramp. Luckily, it looks like Fantom's got a Zergling to kind of prevent us. And we got some roaches popping out, but I don't think the roaches are too effective against the Zerglings, especially when they get a mass around like that.
Yeah, in large numbers, like when you just have small numbers of roaches, they don't do that well against Lings. But that roach had some Ling escort to help out.
So it looks like in total combat now, it looks like Fantom came out ahead. He's got 1 roach and 4 Lings. It's about the 3 Lings that left the battle. But it looks like we got quite a bit of Lings heading around. They're kind of hanging out near Dark Force's expo, and now they're sitting at the Zelnaga Watchtower.
And here you're really seeing the differences between these two players. And you see Fantom doing something really, really important. His roaches aren't out in the middle of nowhere. His roaches are on his ramp. Make sure that those Lings can't get a quick run by.
Exactly, that prevents any sort of run by. And if they're on the whole position, they'll sit there and they will not move in the entire battle. We also see that the Zerglings, an important thing about playing StarCraft is you want your units constantly at least doing something. So it looks like we have DarkForce. He's using his lings here to take out the rocks at the Gold Expo. He might be planning to eventually expand there in a short time frame.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't expand, it's always nice to have your rocks already broken down early when your lings really aren't doing that much, because those lings are 1 larva and 50 minerals you wouldn't be using on drones or any other stuff.
So it looks like we have a queen who's trying to prevent the easy scouting. So the queen's taking out this overlord. The overlord looks like escaped with barely 27 life points. So luckily for him, the DarkForce, he didn't lose his overlord. We also see some spine crawlers being formed at the expo for DarkForce.
Yeah, and that's really an effect of he has lings right now, which are not very good against this mass roach build that Fantom's doing. So he needs something extra to be able to deal with those roaches. Make sure that his X build doesn't go down.
It looks like we have some roach tech coming down. What do you think about this roach tech?
Roach Guile is one of the most important upgrades. It is the most important upgrade for roaches. You also see Aspire, which is just kind of what I was talking about, that you don't want to get caught going roaches when your opponent's going Aspire.
So we have Aspire down already, but it looks like we already have a Hydralisk Den coming down for Fantom, to kind of prevent any Mutalisks coming out. We already have some Mutalisks building. Those will be finished and on the move before the Hydralisk Den is finished.
Yeah, and in this situation, he's doing exactly what he should be doing, which is getting 1 extra queen. And I might actually have another extra queen being made at his main, so you have 2 queens at each base. And at worst, they can just be used to spawn creep.
And you're specifically talking about Fantom, correct? How he's got both queens at his
Yeah, I'm talking
expo?
about Fantom. Because he's a little bit caught off guard, so he needs to make sure he doesn't just lose to these Mutalisks.
He already has both queens slowly making their way. They're terribly slow when they're rocking on non-creep. But
Yeah,
that was good. They also
and
used the transfusion right there to keep his queen from dying.
In reality, all these overlords should also be spawning creep now that he has lair tech, so he links his 2 bases. So that's always something you should be doing if you don't connect your bases with creep, which great players like Hydra always connect their bases just for that reason, so they can get queens back and forth easily.
So we had a small minor conflict down here at the Red Zerg's expo. He sent a few roaches down there. They were easily taken care of by this mass army of Mutalisks that are flying around right now. And now the Mutalisks are doing what they do best. They're making sure they contain Fantom and clearing out all these overlords that are doing free scouting.
Yeah, and Mutalisks may cost a lot of gas, but they really give you more than just killing units. They give you map control, and that's especially important in the Zerg matchup because you want to be expanding, and that's exactly what DarkForce is doing right now that he has Mutalisks.
So we still have a good enough. We have 9 Hydralisks that are currently in production, so that'll prevent these Mutalisks that are currently assaulting the middle line for Fantom. What do you think of this composition now? They've got the queens. He's got Hydralisks. Do you think the Mutos are going to be a cost-effective unit here in the future?
Here I doubt he's going to keep on making Mutalisks, although it looks like he might be continuing to make Mutalisks.
Yeah, he's at 15 now.
Yeah, I would have thought that he might just stop making Mutalisks now that his opponent has Hydras, but I guess he's just going with a Ling Muta composition.
And he's so much into this build that he's actually, in fact, upgrading the attack level 1 for his Mutalisks.
One of the important things you also see from Fantom is he got this Infester, and most players don't use this, but if you can fungal growth in this swarm,
which he just
then
did. He
just like
put a
he
nice
did,
fungal put a nice fungal growth.
then you can trap all these Mutalisks.
Unfortunately, it does not look like he has enough units to prevent this. He basically lost everything there. DarkForce could have easily gone in there and taken out all of those drones. Instead, he decides to pull back and make sure he doesn't leave his main base totally open for a retaliation. I
Yeah, he definitely
personally,
could have gone in there, and he killed all the Hydralisks there. It's really easy to see if more Hydralisks are coming. So that's definitely a mistake. He could have ended the game right
yeah,
there.
that game could have been easily done. We do have a few Hydralisks that are roaming around near the national expansion, but you know, at that time.